My old mentor took the box to the bathroom. She came back with the bibs still in hand. I'll have Mrs. Zoj unpack his diapers after breakfast. I'll let you know when we're getting low so you can bring another. Deal. I prefer it to the parents who only send 2 or 3 diapers a day in their kids' backpacks, both said. A backpack. That's what I needed. Something with lots of pockets to spirit away contraband and escape tools should the opportunity present itself. That and another layer to hide the back of my diaper when my pants started creeping down again. Janet scoffed. No way. If I forget to refill his backpack one day, that's putting you on the spot to find spares. Yeah, both replied. I understand parents wanting to keep track of how many diapers their kids are going through in a day, but it's just not practical. I saw her roll her eyes. But, she said, if I complain too hard about it, Brolish will probably have me filling out some form or another every time I change a diaper and send it home with them. Janet agreed. Totally. She's petty like that. Always bends over backwards for the parents. You're the parent now, though. Both said. The two giggled and looked at me. I looked away. Oh, my so-called mommy added. I don't mind if some of Clark's diapers are used as backup if one of his classmates runs out. What about the bibs? My oldest friend flopped the bibs in her hand. Sharpie marker them real quick. Put his name on them. We'll drop them off at the cafeteria before sign-in. The ladies there are nice enough to wash them with the dish rags. Oh great. Janet took the bibs back and strode over to Both's desk, snatching up a marker and labeling them. Complaining about parents. Bitching about administration. Last-minute preparations before the kids got to class. Random small talk. It was so normal, so everyday. Just talking shop. It felt different knowing I was the shop. Even when both had a tendency to go Amazon crazy and talk about 40-year-olds like they were toddlers and I had to tune out lest I cringe, I was still part of the conversation. Now though, excuse me, I said. I even raised my hand. I'm kind of thirsty. Could I have some? I looked over to the coffee pot. Hope against hope bubbled in me. Use your words, Clark. Janet looked delighted that I was talking at all after the weekend. Coffee. Both looked sad for an instant, but only just so. I'm sorry, baby. Coffee's a bad idea for you. That's for grown-ups only, and I don't have any more syrups or sugar or the stuff you used to like. I'll take it black. I said. Just like when we first met, remember? If that reminder bothered both, it didn't show. I have some juice or some milk that I can put into a bottle for you. Would you like that? No. I said. Then I remembered what was at stake. Janet was still in the room. Then, no thank you. Mrs. Both hunkered down so that she was eye level to me. Oh, Clark. Are you still worried about what you said to me this Saturday? I didn't have time to answer one way or another. It's okay, baby. I forgive you. I'm not mad about it. You were having some really big feelings. She opened her arms wide in the universal gesture for an embrace. I didn't move. She may have forgiven me, but the feeling wasn't quite mutual. You don't have to give me a hug if you don't want to. That's fine. She stood up, and Janet handed her the Sharpie marker. Now what time is ? The door opened up again, this time from the outside. Right on schedule, in walked Mrs. Zoj and Ivy. Good morning every . She stopped when she saw me. Between her gaping smile and her clapping her hands to her cheeks, Zoj's face became so taut with joy that every wrinkle on her face disappeared for an instant. Ooh! He's wearing the outfit I bought for him. Her flats pattering on the floor as she marked time and flapped with excitement sounded like galloping horses. Ivy's reaction was slightly more delayed. She came in a rose-colored sleeveless dress, her hair kept in place with a bow and did her curtsy, the bottom of her plastic-backed padding peeking out a bit as she did it. Hi, she froze mid-curtsy. Mr. Gibson. You're a baby, too? The giants all laughed. Clark's machurosis finally kicked in, both said. My ears burned at that finally. He's gonna be in our class, now. Will you be a good girl and help him learn what it's like this week? Ivy lost all composure. Aha. Just like her captor, she marked time and flapped in excitement. It really was uncanny. Unlike Janet and me, Zoj really was old enough to be Ivy's mother. Mine and Janet's too, technically. It made the resemblance between Amazon and Little seem that much more familial. How much was coincidence and how much was the workings of a little salon, I wondered in that moment. The 30-year-old woman-child tramped up to me and gave me a rough approximation of a hug. I say approximation here because in no way did I even attempt to hug her back, and it was one of the most physically painful things that I could imagine. I couldn't breathe. My arms were pinned to the side and I was wheezing for air. I didn't know if the crackling sound was coming from our 2 diapers or if my ribs were cracking. Incredible. This girl Grill was almost half a foot shorter than me, wore a size smaller monkeys than I did, and could absolutely positively kick my ass in a fight. She might have been stronger than my father-in-law. If she had squeezed at my gut instead of my chest and shoulders, there's no doubt in my mind that I would have been forced to fill my pants on the spot. This is why Ivy was so often the line leader in Mrs. Boaf's class. Not just because she was a full native goody two-shoes, but because her grip was damn near Amazonian. Any little forced to hold her hand wouldn't get away, and Misery sure loved company, so the next little in the chain would get no mercy, and so on and so forth. "We're gonna be bestest friends, Mr. Gibson," she said. "He's not Mr. Gibson anymore, Ivy," Janet said. She took a knee and placed her hand on Ivy's shoulder. Thankfully, that reminded the girl to let me go. I audibly gasped, sucking breath back into my lungs. "His Clark Grange." I was too busy not dying to wince. "You can just call him Clark." Ivy took the cue. "Hi Clark," she waved again. "I'm Ivy." Hi Ivy." Janet was watching us like we were 2 kittens batting around a ball of string. "Sorry if I hugged too hard. Mommy says I gotta be gentle with my friends. Can we be friends, please?" No, we could not. Absolutely not. Never in a million years. I always wanted to be friends with you, but I was scared. Shit. Fuck. Damn. I broke a little bit. Sure. Fuck it. In all the prison movies, the brilliant hero always made friends with a well-meaning brute, right? Right. Same rules applied to mind-fucking daycare. That, and in 10 years, those few sentences were probably the most I'd ever heard out of Ivy. What can I say? I melted a little. I felt bad for her. "Janet," Boaf said, thumbing to the clock on the wall. "It's time to go." Zoj was putting her purse down. "Don't worry," she said, "I'll watch the babies and take them to the bus loop in a few minutes. We'll meet you there, Okay," Boaf said. "See you 2 little ones, there." Janet nuzzled me on the forehead. "Have a good first day at school, Clark." She kissed me on the cheek and stood up. "I love you." The thing is, in her own weird way, I think she meant it. "Don't worry, Mrs. Zoj said. They'll be fine." She looked at Janet. "He'll be fine. I promise." The 2 mad giantesses got up and left, Janet having to double back because she forgot the bibs she'd just marked. It was the first time in forever that I hadn't joined any of them, speed walking along to keep up with their leisurely stroll. Maybe it was just me being sensitive, but the pair seemed to be walking faster without me. They didn't have old Clark to slow down for so he could hustle on behind them. They didn't have old Clark at all. They now had the ability to leave little baby Clark behind. Another difference in the ritual this time, no Tracy. Normally, Tracy would have popped her head in long before Zoj and Ivy intruded in on our jokes and bitching. Boaf and Janet were exiting the same way we always had, through Boaf's back door to cut into my classroom as a shortcut. Why no Tracy though? Was she sick? Avoiding me? If so, why? Was she ashamed of bailing on me? Not coming to my defense? Or was she just busy littling my classroom, removing step stools and ladders and such? I clutched at the dumb sailor hat on top of my head and pulled it down, wishing I could rip it apart. I wish I could have torn out my newly curled and even redder than red hair. Anger was such a more useful emotion than sorrow. I watched the door closed, shutting me out of an aspect of my life that I'd had no idea that I'd miss as much as I did right then. All my old friends were walking up to the front office without me, and I was left with people who knew nothing about me but felt they already knew everything. I felt myself start to tear up and had to bite my tongue to focus. Just get through today. Just get through today. Tomorrow will be a new problem, and the day after that. Just get through today. That's when I felt 2 Amazon-sized fingers hook into the back of my pants.